Welcome to Angela's Holistic Connection. Today we are going to talk about the face mapping. I'm here with my friend Ashley,
Hello.
and this is how I look at skin when people come in for a treatment. This is also a really great way to address the holistic connection, basically. So I'm going to talk about a lot of different things, different organs, how they connect together. My skincare company is Arigato Holistic Skincare. I'm not here for that necessarily. I'm here for bringing awareness for people on how to address certain skin disorders, or a lot of people are getting sick right now. I don't like that at all. So I just kind of want to bring awareness to how I see things and how I look at things, so that people can address different things and help themselves in a different way, I guess.
So when you say people come in for treatments, like facial treatments.
Mostly facial treatments. But even if I have a lot of face waxing, which I have a lot of face waxing, a lot of brow waxing.
Sure.
I'm really, really good with brow waxing.
Yes, you are.
That's an art.
I can attest. I can
And
attest.
I don't know if people ask me all the time how I'm really good at getting the shape they need, and I have no idea. It's an art.
It is.
There's a few rules, but I throw them all out the window. And I am really lucky that I have been where I've been for 21 years. I just had 21 years at Accolades.
Congratulations.
Isn't that crazy?
That is a long time
Yeah.
in a salon.
But I know exactly it is. But the thing that I love is that I've always had a super international clientele.
Yeah.
I have seen every skin type. I have seen every gender. I've seen every nationality. I've seen every blend of nationality, kids, teens, young adults, old adults, men, women. I mean, it just doesn't matter. I've seen it all, which is great.
Right.
It's great. It's definitely what's made me a master. I've been very happy to be in the Minneapolis, St. Paul area, I guess.
Definitely.
I did a little bit out on the West Coast too for a few years, and that was really educational. That definitely helped. But yeah, I that's definitely why I've been there so long, and just been able to bring awareness and make it healthier. The salon industry as a whole is really unhealthy. I feel like it still is really unhealthy, even though for like 20 years I've been there trying to like make it better,
Right.
make it healthier. But so
This is a good start.
yeah, like when I see anybody, I am always seeing that this is in my facial room all the time. And I made this. I got trained maybe 18 years ago doing Dr. Hauschka's. And that was in Boulder, Colorado. I had to go to for that. And that was where I got like the homeopathic philosophy down more, which was like cures like, right?
Okay.
And I was exposed to this. I'm pretty sure I was exposed to this then with that product line. But the problem with that product line, I loved it, but I was allergic to it. It has a lot of peanut oil in it and a lot of extracts like calendula, anthillis. It smelled so good, and it was really simple, and it was great, but I couldn't work with it.
Just wrong
Probably
ingredients.
probably like a couple of years I got to work with that, and then we had to move on to something else. So I always had this. Lymphatic massage was really big with that line. I still do that today. The facial treatments I do are Arigato facial treatments. I made those. And so there's lymphatic, there's Reiki, and there's the face mapping, like starting out with the face mapping. And so, like when I see everyone, I kind of start with overall and like what they feel like is wrong with their skin or what they want to focus on with their skin is really how I kind of start the whole process.
So see what their issue is and kind
Like
of
what they
scan on
think.
yourself. Do a scan of yourself.
Yeah. And then the colors, like the different colors are Reiki involved. So like those areas, if it's green, that's the heart chakra. If it's red, that's the base chakra. If it's yellow, that's the solar plexus chakra, you know. And that kind of just narrows it down for me
And
and
I'm
just kind
sure
of,
maybe we'll touch on chakras a
yeah,
little
that will be
later.
a later thing, yeah.
Whole new episode.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the color thing. So, so where should we start?
What do you see? I mean, is there a trend right now that people are coming in with same questions or the same problems?
Yeah, so it's summer right now, you know, and so in the winter I was seeing a lot of dehydration, a lot of dryness, but right now I'm seeing a lot of bags under the eyes.
Oh,
That's been a big one.
sure.
People are drinking more, eating different, especially here. We're up in the Midwest,
Yep.
right?
A lot of
So
lake time.
a lot of lake time, a lot of hot dogs and picnicky stuff,
Sure.
and you know, things that probably are going to rev up the liver and the kidneys. And so, like with the bags in the eyes, that's like the kidneys is right through here, and the stomach and the liver is right in through here, right?
So what will you
But
see like on their face?
so I'll see puffiness and maybe some darkness,
Okay.
maybe even a little redness, you know. Uh, and so I always address it internally first and foremost. Um, for years and years and years, I have learned that under eye creams are not any different than a moisturizer.
Really?
And they don't work. Maybe they work a little bit, but they're not necessary, you know?
So a big, well, at least I've seen ingredient wise, isn't that like the retinol cream for your under eyes? Stuff like that.
Yeah, I think so. A lot
So,
of anti inflammatory stuff.
okay.
Yep.
So basically they're just trying to do the same thing, but with like
Yeah.
chemicals.
Yes.
Okay.
It's always synthetic. And even if it's natural, um, you know, there can still be extracts like from the ragweed family, for example, you know, like
Sure.
chamomile or calendula or things like that, that people are allergic to. People have even if they have seasonal allergies, right?
I do?
Yeah, and then that makes it worse and makes it worse when the seasonal allergies are coming along, you know?
Well, I think you told me a long time ago too. Like that stuff's just covering it up, not really getting to the root of the problem.
Right.
So, you know, you're putting on that concealer to cover up those bags, but why do you have bags?
Yeah. Right?
So,
Yep, because you are revving up the stomach, the liver, the kidneys, whether that's fermented foods, which I feel like that's kind of the biggest culprit, or dairy, or, you know, drinking.
so your ice cream shakes, nice summer
Yeah.
night, might do some damage.
And so I will recommend, I recommend goji berries a lot. They kind of bring heat out of the kidney. I always recommend probiotic. That's kind of the easiest and most simple way for people to start addressing stuff if they are unfamiliar or don't know where to start.
Sure.
Because probiotic, especially if it's a good one, a clean one, a simple one, it will combat everything, you know, go into the stomach and the intestines and just kind of cleanse, but without overdoing it, you know?
Yep.
So, so yeah, I like to do that. And a lot of people are really willing to do that,
Yep.
you know? because there's that too. It's like I can be the most self-disciplined person in the world and know all this, but if the person I'm talking to isn't self-disciplined
Yep.
or, then
Just
it's
goes
like,
in one ear and out the other.
yeah, yep. It's like, okay, well,
Well, I had an interesting thing happen that I don't drink alcohol often at all. And I don't remember the last time I had a drink. And then I had a work function on Wednesday and had this little tea drink. I also have celiac, so I have to have all the
yeah,
gluten-free stuff.
yeah,
And I shared it between three of us, so just a little bit. And then I had a Stella Cidre. And the next morning I woke up with a little pimple on my eyebrow. And I never, ever get them there. And it was just like,
dang,
what? Then you look
yep,
at the map, and I thought of you right away. I'm like, oh my
yep.
gosh. And there it is.
I hear that all the time.
Yep.
I thought of you when this happened.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So looking at the map, it
Yep.
stays true.
Liver's right through here, gallbladder's right through here. So
Yeah. It
those
was
are
a
both
shock.
filters,
Yeah.
and just trying to process it.
It's just
Interesting.
nuts. Yeah. So
You're
you see it a
actually
different
lucky
way.
that more didn't happen.
Oh, totally.
And what was I just going to ask you?
I do get the rosacea, well, rosacea, quote unquote,
Yeah.
the redness under my eye or whatever right there. That happens if I drink.
Yep.
So,
Oh, I know. I was going to ask you. Did you get drunk?
no, because they're like, do you want another one? I'm like, oh gosh, absolutely not. I can't have two. And they're like, what?
Well,
But-
because you're celiac, and you kind of struggle with anxiety and stuff like that. But why did you not? Why did you decide to not drink? You smoke a lot of pot,
I do.
which is very healing.
Yep.
But what was with the drinking part? Because you kind
I've
of
been
always
a
have been like
long-
that, though.
Yeah.
You haven't been a huge drinker.
Not for, I mean, I was when I was younger.
Yeah.
But I kept getting sick all the time. And I thought, and my body just never processed alcohol. So,
So, like, your stomach would hurt.
yep.
Yeah.
And I do get drunk off of nothing. So
Yeah.
I'm a very lightweight, even if I were to be drinking. So it's just kept getting sick and I didn't feel good and I would bloat horrible and just the inflammation could not contain it, cure it.
Yeah.
So cut all that out and you notice quite a difference.
Yep. Awesome.
But now they got, so many great gluten-free seltzers and everything that it's a little harder.
Oh,
Some of them can be
Thank
good.
God they didn't have that stuff when I was drinking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I was a crazy drinker. I have 13 years sobriety, but I was wild. I drank a lot. My whole 20s are a total blur. But
kinda
there
supposed to
was that was a long time ago, and but then after I quit drinking, there was the gluten-free stuff.
Yeah.
Because I would get sick too, you know. And then the seltzer waters, and my addiction after not drinking is soda waters.
Oh,
Like I love
yeah.
soda waters, and so yeah, if there was,
Well, see, the carbonation gets me
seltzers.
still with the celiac.
yeah,
So, you kind of look at it like, is it worth it?
right,
And no, it's not.
Yeah.
My body thanks me.
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So your rosacea would be the heart area. So revving up the heart too. I see that a lot too, And they always say like, dermatologists will say, too much red wine or something like that. And
Yeah.
but really it's the fermented thing again.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not paying attention. Like, so do you have an issue with caffeine? Do you notice? Like too much caffeine or anything?
I'm kind of addicted to caffeine in a bad way, but
Because that will rev up the heart too.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but it seems to, caffeine doesn't seem to make that redness, even though that
Yeah.
affects the heart, it doesn't seem to do that. And some people can have nothing at all happen with
Right.
their
No
face,
symptoms at all. Yeah.
then it's usually like dehydration will be a big thing, but there won't be anything specifically like connecting them to the organs or anything like that. But it's a really awesome way to like notice that kind of thing. And okay, so by the way, we are also on Spotify right now, and I don't want to forget that for listeners only, this chart that I'm talking about is also on the Arigato Skincare website. So you can go and check it out on there if you want to. Or YouTube, which is
Yep.
what we're on.
Yep.
So, so getting into that, even with brow waxes, I see a lot. Thyroid, like a lot of people won't have their brows anymore on the ends of the brows. They start losing
Wow.
them, and especially over time, and it's usually always something connected with the thyroid. And I'll say that because, again, I'm not here to like cure or try and diagnose or any of that, but
Right.
I will suggest you could have something going on besides the over tweezing thing or whatever, right?
Thank you, 90s.
Yeah, yeah. You could have something going on with the thyroid. And then, I always hear, I absolutely have overactive or I have underactive thyroid or, I should have my thyroid checked or,
Yeah, just get them
it,
thinking, like, is there
it's
anything
wild.
else this could be connected to? Mm-hmm. Do you have any
Yep.
other issues?
Yep, that's really interesting. And that's kind of the only place where that shows up. Also, talking about the kidneys is in the hairline. So, a lot of dry scalp.
Just
That,
around, like, the hairline?
or like people usually are going gray early
Oh,
and it's starting here and always finishes off at the back of the head. That's kind of true for everybody
interesting.
going gray, right? Or like, what about male baldness?
Always starts
That
it.
I
Yeah.
always feel like that's totally kidney related.
Oh, sure. Interesting.
Chemicals as well,
Yeah.
wearing
Hair
hats all the
products.
time.
Oh, yeah, that can't help.
No, but for sure, like it can add and aggravate. But there is a lot of dry scalp, and that can also be washing too much, washing the hair too much. But it's directly related to the kidneys. You can't mess with the chart, right?
Right?
And then the kidneys will be here and here. So a lot of breaking out through here. Actually, I have a regular client of mine that started all of a sudden, and I mean a regular client of mine. So she's been getting a very good brow wax for a long time. And all of a sudden, she started losing hair right in where the eye is, like up above, that right there. She started losing hair. I told her to try doing goji berry because for me that's really good for pulling heat out of the kidneys. And so she did that and she came in and she started having hair back again. And then I just saw her a day ago and she ran out of it and didn't think to replace it. And she
Started balding again?
started losing it again.
Oh, gosh.
Isn't that weird? And we tint her brows and wax them. And so, yeah, so she's like, what was the one that you told me I should do?
I'm going to have to get another one of those. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I also told her to take collagen because collagen is just great for everything,
Yeah.
But she kind of needed it for, I think she needed it for her skin and possibly her joints. But I just, I told her that would be a really good one for her. And so anyway, she did both. Well, then she ran out of that one. So she was, going right to Whole Foods to go get some goji berry powder. And so it'll be interesting when she comes back. We both said it'll be interesting when you come back to see what that area looks like.
There's a difference.
But that's a big deal. And then this map is actually kind of tricky to read because there should be like a line kind of right here that points to the stomach in there, and then the liver and kidneys under here. And then the kidney is also down on the chin area where a lot of people break out or have random breakouts or, whatever. What I want to discuss really quickly is that you said that you broke out and then were you stuck with it?
Was not. It was gone in a day.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's what I love. That's what's amazing about using Arigato Holistic Skincare on a regular basis is that your skin is supposed to release toxins and it's not supposed to be stuck. So if you're using synthetic skincare, which is practically everything on the market,
Yep.
you will be stuck with this kind of thing. And if you're using Arigato, you will have that happen, but you will recover really well from it
So what I did,
within a day or two.
usually I'll just clean my face with Arigato, knock 'em dead. At night on a cotton swab, just do that, and then I put some blackout on it.
Awesome.
Woke up the
Yep.
next day, did that again, got my makeup on, everything else is normal, and by the third day, I woke up, couldn't see it.
Yep.
So-
Awesome. And do you take anything internally when something like that happens? Or not really?
Not yet.
Yeah.
I'm still getting on my supplements,
Yeah.
see what I need.
Yep. But you don't need to.
Right.
Just
no.
watch your drinking and use
Yeah,
Arigato.
it's the inflammation. That's what
Yeah.
we're working.
Inflammation always.
against.
That is so like the key behind all of this. Is just being aware of inflammatory responses to stuff and just knowing and understanding that your body is completely connected holistically. Holistic is consideration of the body physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually.
Well, I know I had a lot of questions. I know everybody that walks into your room comes with out of there
Yep.
having a question that you've answered. So if anyone has questions about this or comments or anything, please reach out to us. The email will be linked here. Also, comment on this. You can leave your comments, questions right on the video. And like us, subscribe. I think we're going to have to do another episode of this one. Maybe a little bit more in detail, too.
Yep. Let's go to part 2.
All right.
Part 2.
We'll see you on part 2.
Thank you.